Hi there and welcome to the channel. Today we have a 12 by 12 layout for you. This is a layout I did for the Kitaholic Kits design team using the August kits. These kits are really cool. They're based on the Love Always collection by Coco Vanilla. I will link all the details down below if you're interested in checking out the kits. So yeah, have a quick look at the links down there. What I'm doing now, first off, is I started with some plain white cardstock, which I lightly misted with water. And then I'm building up my background with some distress ink. This is spun sugar. I wanted a very light colour on the background because what I wanted to do, see that lovely little flare there with the love heart and the black doodled frame? That was my inspiration for this whole piece. I loved this flare and I really wanted to use it. It's an exclusive flare to the kit. And that's where I'm drawing my colours and things from. So I'm using, like I said, spun sugar distress ink. And you'll also notice I have the worn lipstick out, and you'll see what I do with that in a minute. This is my photo. This is my best friend's daughter. Isn't she beautiful? And being surrounded by boys, 2 nephews, 2 sons, dog, husband, I don't have girls to scrap, so I use all my pretty girly stuff on this little angel. And these are some professional photos they got done and I stole copies of, because that's what you do when you're an honorary aunt, you steal the photos. And I couldn't not scrap this photo, it's just adorable. So that's what I am doing. So like I was saying, I'm using pink as my background base, and then I'm using this black and white chevron just to break it up a little bit and frame my photo. And then I will mount it on some foam just to make it pop off that background a bit. So if you watched my kit unboxing for August, you'll know that I get all 4 kits from the club. And it's a main kit, a Project Life kit, an embellishment kit, and a mixed media kit. I mix all my kits and use them for my layouts. But what I wanted to do on this one is the mixed media kit this month came with some Snow White Colour Blast paste, which I was really looking forward to using, and a gorgeous butterfly template from Kaiser Craft, which I didn't have, so well, that was a lot of fun. And I really wanted to use that on this layout because, you know, butterflies are so feminine and girly and so pretty. And so I know I wanted that underneath my photo, just, you know, all the butterflies just flying around this beautiful photo. So that's what I decided to do, but with a twist. I decided to tint my Colour Blast Mist. It's Snow White, and I decided to make it a bit of pink. So I got the darker pink, the worn lipstick, and mixed it with a decent amount of the paste, and it gave me a nice soft pink. As you can see, it's a very dark pink here, but obviously when you mix it with white, it tones it down. So yeah, that's what I did, and it's still, even after tinting it, was still very shimmery. This paste is beautiful. I can't recommend it enough. So bit more white, mixing it till I'm happy with the colour, and then I'm going to apply it on this gorgeous stencil. So the one thing I did notice about using the paste, and you will see afterwards when I lift the stencil, it doesn't apply the same way as, say, something like texture paste would. You'll see my images aren't exactly full and crisp. Didn't bother me for the layout, but it did help me figure it out the next time I use this paste, how to apply it more thick and get better coverage. But yeah, apart from that, like, it's not as heavy bodied as some texture pastes I've used, and it didn't bother me. But yeah, just keep that in mind if you do branch out and try this stuff. I'll tell you what, it's beautiful to use. The Snow White is a great colour on its own, but the fact that you can tint it and still get that shimmer is really cool. Can't recommend it highly enough. Oh, and if you do use this stuff, make sure you clean your stencils right away. If you've watched any of my videos in the past, you'll probably notice I'm terrible at keeping my stencils clean. So this stencil has a lovely permanent pink tinge to it now. So yes, do clean your stencils after using them. Oh, and another thing I learned about the Colour Blast texture paste, the colour it is in the pot isn't necessarily the colour it dries. Now obviously with the white that isn't the case, But even with the small amount of tinting I did notice the colour does get deeper and richer as it dries. So keep that in mind when you do use these. They do dry a lot richer and deeper in colour. So drying time now, and I do cut it out because it did take a long time for this to dry. Here I am just showing you that shimmer. I don't know if you can see it really well, but I'll tell you what, it is really shimmery. Even with a lot of drying time, it was still a bit tacky, but I'm a horribly impatient person, which is why I decided to move ahead with the layout. Wouldn't advise doing it. Do wait until it is dry, because, yeah, when it's tacky, it just ruins your images, and, yeah, so I do dry it again. I mount it on this lovely watercolour pink as well. I cut out the middle so I can keep it because it's a really pretty piece of paper. So I cut out the middle. Okay, I hack out the middle. I don't cut it straight at all. But just to, yeah, get more use out of my papers. So mounting this white on this lovely pink. So just matting this now, and when I place it, you'll see I'm very careful to try and not touch any of the butterflies because, yes, they're still tacky and wet. Like I said, I'm a horribly impatient person. I just wanted to get this layout done. You know when you can just see it in your head and you really want to get it on the paper? So, yeah. Moving on. What am I doing? Oh, yes, I'm about to get my Mr. Huey's in silver mist out. I was going to go with gold, but I didn't think it matched. I thought the silver would be a good match. Now, with the Mr. Huey's silver, you'll notice when it goes on, it looks awfully dark. It doesn't dry this colour. It is a very shimmery metallic silver. Right now it looks grey, but it does dry silver, which is what I wanted. Blotting with my face washer because I couldn't find my paper towel since I moved my craft room around. Oh, look, see? Thankfully the lid's on that. This is why we always put the lids on our mist, people, isn't it? So, yeah, see? Much more better. It's a lovely silver colour. It still looks a little grey, I know, but it is silver in real life, and it's a really nice touch to the pink. So now I'm playing with the lovely ephemera from the Cocoa Vanilla Love Always range. It's a very pretty, very new collection, and it just matched this photo perfectly, so I thought I would go through, get some pretty flowers out, and then I saw this awesome banner that says Picture Perfect, and how could I not use it? It was adorable. Pulling out some butterflies that I thought would go with the layout, just going through that ephemera and pulling out what I think I will use. So like I mentioned earlier, this flare was the basis of this layout. I really wanted to use it. I do try the tassel, but I'm not a tassel person, so I just couldn't make it work. So I'll save that for another layout, another challenge for another day. But yeah, so this flare was definitely what I wanted. Was thinking with the capture down the bottom, but it was just too dark. It didn't match the light, flowy feel of the paper, so I decided to just scrap it and stick with the embellishments around the photo. So now we're just layering everything down, attaching it all. Now I've mounted the photo on foam like I mentioned, and I wanted some dimension with my flowers off to the right there, but you'll notice when I do this flower here, I didn't want it as high as the photo, but I didn't want it flat on the page either, like this little flower. So what I do is I rip up some cardboard and layer that behind it, so it's not as high as the foam, but it still has more dimension than just that plain flower there. So that's a little trick, just using my leftover scraps of cardboard. I think I do 2 layers, and it gives it just enough dimension to fit under the photo but above the other flower, so I was happy with that. So if you can see what I mean, it just gives it that little bit more dimension, but still goes under my photo. And adding some of those butterflies, just to give it a bit more contrast and a bit of a different colour so it's not all pink. These are, I think it's like a grey and white. So they helped bring a bit of that silver and grey in and, you know, take away from all the pink. Can't have, you know, pink all the time. But yeah, so I thought they just, you know, help tie it in. Now, yes, the lighting did change a little bit. Some went down, so I had to turn my lamp on and finish off this layout. Now, this is where I'm going to mount my the banner, which I'm going to use as my title, Picture Perfect. But I did want it on the photo, so of course I had to put some foam behind it so it was the same height. So that's what I'm doing. Obviously doing it the hard way because, you know, never do anything easy. And yeah, just putting a bit more foam because the foam didn't reach all the way to the edge of the photo. It was a little bit too short. So adding a bit of foam and attaching my banner. So still trying to get this tassel to work, but yeah, in the end I don't use it. Another challenge for another day. And then I add this little You Are So Loved off to the left there. It just helped, I think, even out the triangle of embellishment, so it's all clustered around the photo, and I just really liked it. And then I found some a leaf die cut in the ephemera pack that I thought worked under there too, and yeah, just adding that as well. So attaching my flare now, but before I do, I decide to put some silver thread down under it. And I add that, one, to give it a bit of texture so it's just not stuck on the page there, and two, brings in a bit more of that silver. So here's my thread, just bunching it up and yeah, sticking it underneath that flare. So drawing back to that flare again, if you'll notice it's got a doodled border around the heart, so I decided to doodle a border around the layout. So just a quick hand-drawn border with some fake stitching in a few places, and that's the layout done. What I do end up doing off camera is I add a few sequins and some bling as well, just to, you know, pretty it up a little bit. You can never have too much bling. And yeah, that's my layout. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for more very soon, and thanks for watching. Bye.